Hey, chiropractors, welcome to Modern Chiropractic Mastery with your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, where we discuss the latest in marketing, business, and professional growth with some of the leading experts in the industry. Welcome to another episode of Modern Chiropractic Mastery. Today I have Dr. Curt Kippenberger on this episode, and I've had him on before. He's an integral part of MCM. He really helps me facilitate the mastermind group, and he is also our associate coach within MCM Mastery. And so we're gonna really dive into some of the details of what he's seeing out there in the field. He's got a really good beat on the profession because not only does he, have his own private practice, he's had that for years. He's got a very well-developed preceptor program. So he works with a lot of younger students slash chiropractors. He coaches for us. So he's talking to a lot of chiropractors in that regard. He's obviously part of the mastermind. He helps Josh Satterley with some coaching as well with Clinic Gym. He does some stuff with MPI now, SFMA, right? So he's one of those that's super clinically oriented, but also very astute with ethical practice growth, and that's why he's part of our team here at MCM. And I wanted to just have him on the show to kind of discuss some of those things he's seeing and some of his insights on practice, some of his insights on coaching chiropractors, and what he sees from chiropractors that are coachable. And so we dive into some of those details as well. It's always nice to have him on as part of the team. He really helps me out and gives me a lot of insights on what we need to be helping chiropractors out with. And, our massive transformative purpose at MCM is to get very great clinically oriented, evidence informed chiropractors to also be very good at business and marketing and have a thriving practice that is elegant and ethical. And he's an integral part of helping make that happen. So here is my conversation with Dr. Curt Kippenberger. All right, welcome to the show, Curt. I really appreciate your time today. For our audience, obviously, I've already introduced in the introduction here, but Curt is many things: chiropractor. He's clinical coach as well. Does a lot of instructing for clinical aspects, but he's also our associate coach here at MCM. And we wanted to have an episode just to kind of touch base on some of the things he's seeing in practices, some of the growth opportunities, some of the struggles, some of the things chiropractors are doing to overcome the struggle, and just touch on that a little bit. And, from the coaching side. So, welcome to the episode, Curt. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you got going on these days.
Thanks, Kevin. Always happy to be on. My name's Dr. Curt Kippenberger. I practice in Columbia, Missouri. Our clinical practice is called Focus on Health, and we're a clinic gym hybrid facility. We also have the movement lab inside the clinic. And I've been a part of MCM for, I think, rounding third on 4 years now. I started being coached by Kevin and then was approached through him and the CSA to help out with some mentorship initially. And I think sometime last year, the last 18 months, I started helping out a little bit more formally with MCM. And it's been been a really cool ride. I mean, we've had a lot of changes within the company in the last 12 months. And I think all of them are really, really exciting, really inspiring. And I think it's had a very positive impact from what I can tell on my end. Like you mentioned, I really enjoy teaching and mentoring. So I'm an instructor for the SFMA, the Selective Functional Movement Assessment. I also help out with Josh Satterley's Clinic Gym Hybrid Solutions and our advanced rehab and active care seminars. And then most recently, I've been helping out with the Motion Palpation Institute, and teaching really fills my bucket. It's certainly one of the four freedoms that I really, really love. And that's the purpose part of it. So,
Yeah, and part of, obviously, as we got to know each other pretty well from helping you out and coaching, and then you helping me out as well in many ways, is at our company here in MCM, we're really clinically based, and then we try to apply marketing and business to that to thrive. And that's what always um, you know fascinated about your ability to do that and build systems around the clinical to run a very efficient and successful practice. And that's why once we needed kind of an associate coach, that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for people that only know the business or the marketing side. That's obviously important for what we're doing to try to help chiropractors, but it's got to start with the clinical. And that's something that you've been able to do. And, show other chiropractors that, you can be very clinically based, but you can also be very patient experience based and have great marketing and have all those things. And that's what really puts, the complete package together for a thriving practice.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people think it's an if then statement either, or a evidence informed, ethically based treatment guide practitioner, or you're a good business owner. And I think there's a lot of ways to have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, that's why I like aligning myself with folks like you, or even, you mentioned MPI, right? Like, just the 3 main instructors off the bat, right? Like Mark King, obviously, and Corey Campbell and Brett Winchester. They all have really amazing practices with very sound business principles and marketing strategies. And so that's why I've always loved collaborating with them. And, and that's what we're trying to just really change that narrative for the evidence informed community. And you've been an instrumental part of doing that. So I thank you for that. And then, we've definitely made a lot of changes. Like you mentioned, the last 12 months, we've transformed the coaching into more of a group setting, which is gone, really well. I wanna touch on that in a second. But we've also transformed it to where we do the marketing for the chiropractors, and so we put a whole team together on that side. So now we kinda went from, group or basically just one-on-one coaching, on marketing and business to now we've got 2 divisions of MCM mastery, really. One is the coaching, and the other is the kind of where your media company or marketing company for you. And that's been fun to develop, a lot of moving parts, but now that we've completed 2022 and we're in 2023, uh, we had great growth over the last 3 months once we kind of launched that new aspect of it. And so and you head up our coaching side of things, and Jesse's really kind of heading up our media side of things. When we just actually brought on Melissa Weber as our chief marketing officer, so she's going to start transitioning into heading up that department, which I'm really excited about. But let's dive into the coaching side, since that's your gig there over here at MCM. And what are some of the things you've seen since we've switched? You're still doing some one-on-ones with our members on needed things here and there, but everybody falls into the group coaching part as well. What are some of the things you've seen that have been cool from the group coaching side of things?
Yeah, I can remember when we got on the phone and you pitched this idea of moving to group coaching, and I honestly thought it was terrible. And
Mhm.
because I've enjoyed that one-to-one atmosphere. I really like, gotten to know you very well and previous business mentors that I've utilized. And quite honestly, the other side of it is like, man, I don't know if I'll be a part of what the growth strategy is for MCM. And none of those things are true. Actually, the group coaching, I think, has only strengthened what MCM offers. And because we have so many brilliant minds, whether they're just starting out, heck, who's our client who joined before he even graduated? I mean, that guy's going to be a superstar. Uh,
That was cool.
and um, and then you have, folks for all the way up in the mastermind, like Mark King and Donna and of course Brett. Like those minds are so valuable in a group setting. And, especially I'd be a hypocrite to say that our gym is all small group classes, because the research says that people actually get better results in small group settings. So why would that not apply to what we're doing as well? So first and foremost, I think the shift to the group coaching has been fantastic. And one of the big struggles that a lot of young chiropractors are, especially as they begin to get busy and scale, is to continue to produce relative content. So the fact that we have taken that task off of their plate, I think, is really attractive as well. And sure, they could probably go find a videographer. I mean, I've had a guy on retainer for 10 plus years and he's fantastic, but That's just one facet. They're not
Mhm.
getting a complete package anywhere else, but from MCM. So, but you're not wrong. I do still enjoy the onboarding. I still love helping people build systems that are going to be sustainable. So that one-to-one facet, whether it's with me or with you, I think people really appreciate that. And I think even some of our more seasoned members have taken advantage of, both your and I's knowledge or co-learning and sharing experiences these last few months.
Yeah, definitely. And, to kind of go through the thought process of going to the group coaching, it really was multifactorial. One, strategic coach went, from live, it's back to live now. But when COVID hit, they went to Zoom group coaching. And I mean, there'd be 150 people on those calls. And the way they did them, it was really good. And so I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And then I remember I hopped on, there was a guy in my strategic coach Zoom call from LA who has a coaching company for loan officers, right? Mortgage loan officers. And he's got a really very, very strong coaching company around that. And he had a weak link of the online academy. And we have that great online academy with CSA. And I had the weak link of like, how do I can only do so many Zoom one-on-one calls in a week. And so we got on a couple calls together, and his was group coaching calls, and he was telling me all the benefits of it. So that was good. And then again, the third thing, kind of to your point, was right, there's so much good evidence around the group training for gyms and, clinic gym hybrid and all that type of stuff. And there's this, a lot that comes from it. So I felt like we were ready to take that plunge. And what was cool is we had 24 members at the time, and I really got ahead of it with them, and communicated with them, and all of them all of them transferred over to it, which was really and a very grateful for them for trusting that process. And so that was really neat to see them do that, and they kind of were our beta testers on it, and it went really good. So that was very encouraging to do that. Now that we're up to 45 members, which was our goal to end this year and get everybody onboarded, we've hit another part where there's 15 people on these calls, because there's 2 calls per week, same material, and each call's got a lot of it's very dynamic now, right? And it's been cool, and a lot of learning goes on in that. And then we break out into small groups within the group coaching calls. And then obviously if someone, like I'm, kind of working with a few one-on-one right now for particular things, putting out fires, or, one member, they bought a whole practice. So there were some things there, or another one moved into a new office space, and there, like there's stuff like that. I know we set up some of our members with calls with you or John Morrison, things like that. So there's plenty of one-on-one touch points, whether it's through messaging or Zoom or phone calls and stuff. So we haven't forgotten about that part of it. So now let's transition a little bit. With your insights of working with chiropractors, both from the clinical side, like you said, with Josh and SFMA type stuff and MPI, but also with MCM on the marketing and business. Like, what are some of the struggles you're seeing out there in practice? They're just sometimes it's common, sometimes it's unique. But what are a few you're seeing in that angle?
I think one of my favorite CSA lessons is on the four freedoms. And I hit on this topic with Brett and Taylor on the Gestalt podcast. I think everybody wants all of those freedoms to be balanced at all points in time, and rarely are they. And we'll see a lot of folks that are struggling with money, or maybe I love your episode on being broke or broken. Maybe their purpose is kind of fizzled out. And then obviously some of these things drive each other. So if money's tight, your relationships might suffer. You might be finding yourself spending your time inadequately, and then you start to drain your purpose. So long story short, I think a lot of times some people just need to be inspired and pulled into the ring and say, hey, money's tight right now, but what systems are breaking down to decrease your production or your opportunity for it? Do we need more new patients? Do we need better patient experience? Do we need better discharge criteria to find some level of evidence informed maintenance. You know, a lot of our evidence informed chiropractors are kind of scared of that word maintenance or treatment plan. And in all reality, if you don't have a plan, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
So I think that we see a lot of different struggles trying to fit in this mold of an evidence informed chiropractor without being like the folks that maybe we don't respect as much in our profession. And sometimes coaching people into it. I remember your most recent episode too. You were talking about people's financial freedom. That's a big piece of it, right? We've got some folks that are struggling to make ends meet, but they're still profitable. And we have some folks that are making gangbuster money, but they're living paycheck to paycheck. And so
Mhm.
sometimes it is a money management, chat, if you will. So
Yeah, that's why we talk we do discuss a lot of finances in MCM and in the calls. We just did our whole coaching call this week actually on, well, the week we're recording this, on 2023 financial planning, and we started from the beginning, right? It's like, okay, you gotta get your personal life squared away, and then we kinda built from there and actually put together a very comprehensive plan, not like a financial plan uh, that a financial planner would do for retirement, but just like, look, how do we plan out 2023? And as a small business owner, typically your personal and your business finances can get mixed up pretty quickly if you're not careful. So, you got to get clear on that type of stuff for sure and help make accurate decisions from that. So,
and
and
I think
what are
uh,
no, go ahead. Sorry.
I think utilizing, one of the things that I like about MCM, we utilize the Colby indice to
Mhm.
kind of figure out and gauge how people do make decisions. And if somebody is really slow, quick start and really slow implementation, it's going to be hard to, help pull them into making some of these decisions that are going to make them much, much more successful. And so knowing your numbers on your Colby, I think can really help you
Yeah,
free yourself, right?
Yeah, and that's been a big topic in our mastermind group because we touched on it back in Key Largo, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, the Kobe index is great. We have all our new members take that. And it's always interesting because when I do the onboarding call with our new members, where basically they fill out a really detailed practice audit, as you know, and I review that with them, try to find a couple of the big dominoes that get them on the right path, really tailor the program to them. And then I also have them take the Colby Index, which we provide them. And, it's always interesting. Oh, did you get some insights from them? They're like, yeah, it was pretty spot on. And the way the Colby Index works, obviously, we won't be able to get too much into the weeds on it in this episode, but for our audience, you can just go to their website, just Google search Colby Index, and you'll be able to find it. But that's KOLBE. You get measured on 4 things, and there's no right or wrong. But one is fact finder, you're either a high, low, or mid. You've got implementer, you've got quick start, and you got follow through. And the reason why I like our members to take it is because, it's been interesting. When I go to strategic coach and it's all entrepreneurs and it's all different industries, you'll see I'll look at their because they actually put our Colby index on our name tag. That's how much they value it. But there's not as many fact finders, I would say, in that group. But then I get the results from our evidence informed chiropractors, and so many of them are high fact finders. Like they want the research, they want the facts before they make decision. And so that's great. But a lot of times I'll see a lot of low quick starts, so they have a hard time getting out of the gates, and sometimes that person, once they do get out of the gates, then they will follow through and implement. And so I know, okay, I got to act as their quick starter, you do, to get them going. It's like, all right, look, we're not going to put you in a box, but if we agree this is the path we want to go on, and you see, like, now that we've done this audit of your practice and you see where it is and we agree on it, like, yeah, Kurt, you, myself, or whatever, we're going to like, we're going to hold you accountable and we're going to be your quick start. And
I
then I
like
get
you
some
had a
other
spotlight on me there because that's
I
me.
know, exactly. No, it's true, right? And then sometimes we'll have ones that are really high quick starts, but they don't follow through and implement. And so they throw a bunch of shit on the wall all the time, which is fine, but they never actually get it to across the finish line. And so we know, okay, MCM has to act as their follow through and implementer. And obviously the media side of our company now implements a lot of the marketing for them. So that takes that off their plate. So it really allows us to plug in the holes. And then, it's been funny. We've kind of become the couples coaching at MCM.
Yes.
We have probably 10 or 12 couples that are both chiropractors in the practice. We have some where the one spouse is maybe the office manager and one's the doctor, but like 10 to 12 where both are chiropractors. So that's been cool. And so a lot of times I'll take their Kobe's. We'll do when we get two people that sign up, like husband, wife, or whatever. It's we do a Kolbe for both of them, and then we'll look and see if they're kind of like a good puzzle piece that fits right together, right? And then sometimes they're the same, and so it's just good to put that together to make sure that action is being taken appropriately as a team, because now we're part of your team.
Yeah, it's very empowering too. I know we had Krista take a Colby with me as well, even though she's not a DC, but she's been so integral in running the company. And you know, again, for another episode, we saw the wheels fall off when she left, and so to find that interdigitation is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Docs, here is a new opportunity for you from Darcy Sullivan of Propel. She is our SEO specialist in helping out many chiropractors with their search engine optimization and making sure Google is finding you and getting you new patients. It's amazing how many new patients chiropractors can get and are getting when they do the SEO right and a few other things. And Darcy is offering a free SEO workshop just for chiropractors, and you can sign up for that at bit.ly/propelmcm. That is bit.ly propelmcm, modern chiropractic marketing, right? And so check out that link, and we're going to have you go over 5 SEO secrets to owning the first page of Google without buying ads. And Darcy's going to give that free workshop, 1 hour, to really help grow your practice and start churning new patients from the ever mighty Google, which is still king in the online marketing. So check that out at bit.ly/propelmcm for the 1 hour free workshop. All right. What are some of the things you're really excited about in 2023 for, say, yourself, then segue into other chiropractors? Like, what are you really excited about?
I'm really excited. I mean, we've got 4 mastermind weekends planned, and those have been really, really amazing. I know we're going to talk about that a little bit more in just a bit. I've got 4 teaching engagements with Josh and Clinic Hybrid. I'm fairly certain that I've got 2 on the mat for MPI. So again, that's something that really fills my purpose. Every weekend I come back from a mastermind or teaching, I'm just on fire on Monday morning. Well, now Tuesday, that's another exciting thing for 2023. I just worked my last Monday shift this past Monday, and I'm really looking
That's awesome.
forward to. Yeah, I'm excited about it for a lot of reasons. One, because I am traveling more, it's going to allow me a little bit of buffer to kind of get my feet back underneath me. But those Mondays were really planned on me inspiring my team, investing in them, working on them one to one, small groups. I really 2022 is what we would consider a seeding year. We put a lot of good seeds in the soil and we made sure it was fertile and watered. And I think 2023 is going to be a huge harvest year, but I need everybody firing on all cylinders. And I think we've got a fantastic team behind us. I have no doubt that that's going to be the case.
That's
And then,
awesome.
my wife, as I mentioned, she's been so integral in the practice. We have over the last 8 years done what she has dubbed vision casting, and she's dropping her first ebook here in just a few days, the day after Christmas. She's really inspired to want to take that kind of on the road for doing some workshops for, probably chiropractors initially, but I mean, I think we can help a lot of other types of professions, small business owners, entrepreneurs to help get very clear on what their next year and then next, 3 years, 5 years. I know we've done a lot through strategic coach on your 1 year focus, your 3 year vision, your 10 year goals. So learning that and habit stacking of what we've taken away from the mastermind, all the stuff that I've worked with you one to one on in our group sessions with MCM. Yeah, I'm elated to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, that vision casting is cool. Obviously, I had Krista on the podcast, and that episode came out a few weeks ago. That was exciting. And she's going to share with our mastermind group in the third weekend, so that'll be in July of 2023. Some of that as well to get our minds wrapped around doing that, which is exciting. And it was definitely a fun year of masterminds. A lot of great information, a lot of great speakers, a lot of great information shared amongst each other, and a lot of uh, bonding too. A lot of friendships were made, which was exciting, and I'm excited about that again in 23. It was cool that we sold out 2023 mastermind. 20 was our goal. We actually ended up with 22. I remember texting the group saying, "Hey, do you mind if we go a couple over?" And everybody was good with that. So we were really excited to have 22 this year, and we're maxed out now. But we'll be having 2024, and we're going to actually take 2024 out of the state. We'll do one in Florida. We'll do the winter time. As you'll appreciate right now as we record this, I think what's the temperature there in the wind chill?
We're like -7 or 10 and -35 wind chill. I think we're actually colder than one of our other mastermind group members, Ryan Wingers up in Montana. So uh, Missouri doesn't win all the time, but when we do, we make sure we're actually losing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so we're gonna probably do. I think we haven't solidified it fully yet, but we're thinking one in Florida in the winter. We'll do Nashville, we'll do Chicago, and we'll do Austin, Texas. So we'll bring it out. So excited about that. Yeah, definitely. Cool. And so, from a mastermind perspective, what are you looking to gain out of? Because not only are you a member of the mastermind, you're really kind of my right hand man with the whole thing, and you're chief fun officer on the weekends, and but no, like what are you excited about gaining from the mastermind this particular year coming up?
Yeah, I think you hit on one of them. I mean, just continuing to cultivate some of the relationships with, these folks that, some of them at one point we were looking up to them like they were these monuments, and they are. I mean, they're certainly giants in our profession, but I'll tell you what, they're all as humble as pie, and they're just as organic of a human as you could ever ask for. So continuing to get to know, the group members that were a part of 2022 and welcoming the new 2023 members. Uh, I think the first weekend is going to be kind of a great way to start the year. I mean, how to be the CEO of your practice. Obviously, you're in a very different practice scenario than me, and I'm in a different practice scenario than many of our members of the mastermind and of MCM. But at the end of the day, you really do have to figure out how to be your CEO, whether you're a lone wolf or whether you manage a team of 50. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And as weird as it sounds, I think I still have a long runway left, but I'm looking forward to, the transition part of practice. How do you sell your practice? How do you exit patient care? How do you exit the profession? I hope that's a long time away for me, at least for now. Like my vision might change. But, one of the things that we start with our new patient tour is we bring them over to the gym and we say, we want to start with the end in mind. We see you
Mhm.
here in the gym at the end. And I think when we get into practice, we should probably have the same exit strategy. I think that's important, whether you want it to be a legacy practice to a kid or one of the doctors that's helped you grow or to a family member. I think the lineup for 2023 is just going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. We built it out, and actually, a couple people had said, "Well, I don't want to stop treating patients. I'm not sure if the topics are meant for what I'm wanting to do." And I was like, "No, actually, like you said, is being the CEO of your practice, you can still be the full time treating doctor, but there has to be certain principles done to run this thing accordingly." And then, yeah, at the end, we've got built a cell with Crystal Meisenheimer from progressive practice sales. And again, you know, selling this thing could be 25 years down the road, but you got to build it to that point, and it's never too early to do it. And so we're basically trying to build in 2023, we're trying to build a blueprint for a practice on, okay, let's make sure we are starting to understand what it's like to provide leadership in our business. And that's with Ray Tuck in January all the way to the end with building the whole practice with systems in place. So yeah, we're excited about that. It's going to be great. Coming
We
up
had
here in
such
2
a
weeks.
we had such a great transition out of 2022 with Emily Morgan from Delegate Solutions. Cause I think in order for any of us to be the CEO, we're going to have to figure out how to way to get shit off our plates.
Yes,
And
yes.
I'm going through that now. I had been doing my notes and trying to do my own reflection points. And I figured once I got to these Monday freedoms, I was going to get on the phone with one of the team members from Emily. And actually next Friday, I'm getting on the
Mhm.
phone with them to figure out really what can I remove from my plate comfortably? And then what can I remove from my plate uncomfortably to help
Yep.
me grow and then to help the business grow? So
Yeah, and that was a leap I took in 2018 with them with Delegate Solutions, and I've been with them ever since. And I know Andy Van Hoek of our mastermind, he signed them on. I know Ryan Wigness, like you mentioned earlier, he had a call with them. You have a call with them. It's just, yeah, the delegation was a big part of that.
you
So
don't
that's
really
cool.
know what to delegate sometimes, right? Like
Mhm.
I have this list of stuff and it's things that I don't want to do or things that I do. And sometimes it takes somebody outside of the frame to help you see the whole picture. So I'm looking forward
Yep,
to that.
absolutely. So, well, it's that time of year where there's a lot of wrapping up of 2022 as we record this. It's actually the day before Christmas Eve and preparing for 23. Do you feel like you've completely wrapped up 2022 yet? Are you still putting some final touches on that and then getting into 23? Where are you at on that?
Yeah, I think we have the action steps in to wrap up. We're bringing another doctor into our hub. He's worked with me in a satellite facility, him and his assistant actually. And again, the energy that they're going to bring and just the opportunity. I'm really really excited to see him just absolutely blow out of the water with growth. Um, Krista and I still have a few final details to put on our own vision casting.
Yep.
Embarrassingly, she had to come to the equation after our Key Largo trip where we had planned on trying to shoehorn in vision casting. And one of the first principles of it is actually don't try to shoehorn it in anywhere. Like plan it. It is its own dedicated weekend. And so
Mhm.
we won't make that mistake in 2023, but that still got a few little pieces of the pie. But yeah, I think we've got a very clear direction on where we want to head with the practice, what I want to be doing with my purpose driven time with teaching and mentoring and coaching. And yeah, like you said, we've got what 3.5 weeks where we'll be all together again in Fort Lauderdale. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that and looking forward to a lot warmer weather than what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. On my end, from my practice standpoint, we did a lot in 2020. 2022, just in general, was a push the envelope year, and it was a really good year. Just a lot of parts. So going into 2023 for the private practice, we're really not going to do a whole lot of transformations. It's now like, okay, we've got the full foundation and everything. Now it's just to optimize it. So I'm looking forward to that for the practice standpoint. From MCM, we really pushed the envelope. Obviously, a lot of transition this past year, and we fully came out the other side of that, which was exciting. But I'm still looking to do some things in 2023 that are unique. We're adding the team trainings part of MCM, which is just an added bonus. I kind of put that under the coaching wing of MCM now. And your wife, Krista, is kind enough to do our first one in January, where front desk uh, staff members of our members join in on that call, and it's a training session on front desk. And then in February, got Cassie home doing all things CA. So CAs will be able to. So these are trainings are for your team members, and each month we'll have one. We'll have two calls. It'll be the same material, but we have to always try to hit our West Coast Mountain cohort and our East Coast Central cohort. So we have two different time slots for that. And then each month we'll have different ones. I know Michael Massey's going to be doing one, and John Morrison's going to be doing one as well. So sometimes it'll be only for team members, and then sometimes it'll be kind of a training on something that might be more geared towards the doctor, but a little bit different than the coaching session. So excited about that. I had mentioned earlier we've added Melissa Weber as our chief marketing officer. So not only is she going to be helping us at MCM grow MCM, but she's going to be helping with our clients with strategies around marketing and fine tuning that to get that even better. So we're definitely looking to continue to add and develop what we're offering. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, it sounds like everybody's got a lot of moving parts, but I like you, I'm looking forward to not trying to be so innovative in 2023 as we were in 2021 and 2022 and just kind of reaping the benefits of all the stuff that we
Yeah.
put down into place.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to paddle out to the wave and then sometimes you just got to ride the wave, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I like that those years. Those are fun. So hey, well, Kurt, man, I really appreciate everything you're doing for the profession, for me, for MCM, for our clients, and just chiropractors in general. A lot of chiropractors learn from you, and that's something I always appreciate about what you're doing.
I'm very grateful for the opportunity on all behalfs.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah, you too, Kevin. Thanks a lot.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And if you want to make the shift from busy, broke, and broken to time free and cash confident, or you just want to continue with the exponential growth, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com. Look at the MCM Mastery tab, watch the short video on there, and check out what we are doing now for evidence informed chiropractors. We are equal parts coaching and marketing done for you. Yes, you shoot some videos, we help you with campaign strategies and ideas and really become a thought leader in your community. You shoot those videos, you send them to us, we produce, edit, and brand them to you. Then we distribute them through all of your channels. We also take them and we turn it into one good blog per month. And every other month, we have Darcy Sullivan producing a robust blog with a topic that you pick from her database to help with your SEO. So we essentially become your content marketing agency to make sure your practice is always having ethical, elegant content marketing to help grow your practice. On the coaching side, we also help you with everything from marketing ideas to business, communications, finances, anything practice growth, and really try to help prevent you from being stuck on that island. And we hold you accountable. We have a great group of doctors that are just doing amazing things, and we look forward to help you out to take that next step in your practice. So again, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com and learn more.